Hello, brothers and sisters of the left-hand path. Welcome back to Plutosophia. I am Dr. Murphey, and today is Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. And in today's video, I am going to be discussing the metaphysics of manifestation. Okay, so in Plutosophia, when we talk about metaphysics, we're talking about everything. Metaphysics encompasses it all. We're talking about magic, alchemy, sorcery, vampirism, meditation, yoga, Hermeticism, right? It all falls under the umbrella of metaphysics. And to understand any one of these modalities, you really just have to know one thing, and that is energy. It is all energy. It's all about energy. Energy is foundational to it all. To ascend in any one of these paths, any of the psychic modalities, it's really just about accumulating more energy, raising your energy, and it is energy that is going to unlock doors. It's very important to know Hermetic law, the 7 Hermetic principles, because when you know that, then all of this makes sense and all of it is possible. The first law of Hermeticism states that the all is mind, the universe is mental, and you also have the law of vibration and correspondence. And so what Hermeticism teaches us is that all is mind, all is thought. In metaphysics, thought is energy. This is where manifestation begins. We refer to this as psychic thought energy. That is something we have control over, and we can transmute our thoughts through alchemy. And thoughts as energy are all part of the all, which is the cosmos, as Carl Sagan called it, or mind, or however you want to think of this. But it's all energy, and it is all connected, which means even just beginning on the surface conscious mind, which you have control over, you can perform alchemy upon those thoughts. You can channel these thoughts through magic and affect real change on any level, on any plane. When you're working with energy, even just thoughts, you can manipulate the vibration of that energy. You can manipulate the very frequency of it. When you're working with manifestation, whether you're working with law of attraction in the right-hand path or something like black magic within the left-hand path, what you're really doing is working with energy, transmuting energies, changing their frequencies, increasing their vibrations, and channeling that energy. And so it works upon the principle, manifestation that is, works upon the principle that like attracts like, right? We're talking about resonance. There really is something to the expression mind over matter, or when people say, you need to have a positive mindset or practice positive thinking. There really is truth to this. When you cultivate strong, powerful, positive thoughts and emotions, this energy, right, again, it's real energy we're working with. These things are real. Whatever level, and again, back to Hermeticism, as above, so below, as within, so without. If you're working with the microcosm or the macrocosm, it does not matter, which means that just by working with your thoughts, right, you're working with real energy, and this can have an effect upon the macrocosm. Positive energies will resonate with positive energies, whether they be situations, outcomes, more tangible things, physical objects, circumstances, even just something like cultivating positive thoughts in your day-to-day life. This is going to connect with positive outcomes and positive realities. And vice versa, right? Negative thoughts are going to connect with negative outcomes. Manifestation is a process where you're bringing something tangible into your life through focused thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. So, right, if you're working with something like magic, that is where you begin. You begin with thoughts. You bring in your intention, right? Your desires and your intentions. You ignite it with your willpower, and then you bring in emotion to even further amplify the effects, to amplify the vibration of this energy. You may be working with alchemy. So if you're working right in the left-hand path and you're working with the shadow, all right, this is the law of polarity, right? It keeps coming back to Hermeticism. If you're working with the shadow and you're working with negative energies, even something like anger or sadness or despair, that still has a power, even though it's a negative power. But through alchemy, you can transmute it, right? You can transmute, okay, let's say, for example, depression, severe depression. You have no hope, you have no focus, you have no will or desire to live. You can't get out of bed. That's a very powerful energy, but it's what we would call negative. But if you transmute that into something like anger, and I know I just said that anger is negative, but anger can also be a very positive force, especially in the left-hand path. Think of the infernal fury, rage, and energy of Lord Emperor Satan, right? This is focused aggression, focused rage and fury and anger. You transmute that depression into anger just by changing your perspective. And you get pissed off about something. It's very different from being depressed. Depression and rage are really just the same thing, but they're just of different polarities. It's a simple matter to change that polarity, right? So depression has us stuck in bed. We've got no desire to do anything. We've got no confidence, no self-esteem. Well, now you transmute that, bring it to the other polarity, by changing your perspective, changing how you think of things, changing your logic and reasoning. And now you're getting pissed off and you're being filled with rage. And then you take that rage and you channel it and focus it. Well, now here comes that confidence from within. That fire of Satan comes from within, burning, furious and focused. Now you can get out of bed. Now you have a purpose. Now you have desire. Now you want to get stuff done. You want to have vengeance by being successful, right? So this is transmutation, working this alchemy, and then through magic, you're funneling it and focusing it and channeling it. Okay, so some core concepts to understand within manifestation, within metaphysics, is that thoughts, psychic thought energy, right? Thoughts create reality. This principle asserts that our thoughts and our emotions directly influence our life experiences. So when you focus upon like positive thoughts, you're going to change your energetic state because you're going to change the vibration of that energy. And more positive thoughts are going to lead to you vibrating at a higher frequency, and this is going to align yourself with more positive outcomes and manifestations and realities. Visualization is a very simple yet powerful tool in metaphysics, because what you have here is 5 distinct levels of the mind within metaphysics. Think of it like an onion with its layers. So on the outer surface level, you would have our conscious mind. This is our waking mind. It's what we're using in our day-to-day waking lives to interact with the world and interact with others, to think and judge and solve problems. This is what we have control over. It's our conscious awareness. Now, the energy that exists in our conscious mind, we have conscious control over it, right? Because we can manipulate our thoughts. We're aware of our emotions and our feelings. And what we're experiencing in our conscious waking mind, that energy, because it's a two-way street between all of these 5 levels, that energy is flowing down into the next level, which is the personal subconscious mind. Now, when you're in the subconscious mind and the rest of these deeper levels, the computing power increases. So as you go deeper, the power of that level of the mind increases, although you have less and less control over it, and even less and less awareness of these other levels. But they are affecting you profoundly. So the energy that we manipulate consciously, that is flowing down into our subconscious mind. But what happens in the subconscious mind, that is also flowing up and influencing our conscious mind, although we're not necessarily consciously aware of it, right? And this is where you get into like Dr. Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, these psychoanalysts that were working with psychoanalysis, where they believed that therapy had to be done through addressing the subconscious mind. So in our subconscious mind, this was like a reservoir for a lot of negativity. Things like traumas, especially from early childhood. And these are things that we don't want to deal with. They could be traumas, or they could be aspects of ourself that we don't want to acknowledge, we don't want to think about. So anytime those, let's say a memory, like a traumatic memory from childhood, anytime that tries to come up, Freud suggested that we have like these different defense mechanisms that we use to protect our conscious mind from those harmful memories, such things as suppression and repression. And so we would just push down these memories. You can't get rid of them. They're always there in the subconscious memory. But consciously, it's like we forget about them, but they're still affecting us. So someone might have some kind of anxieties in their day-to-day life. They might have low self-esteem, for example, low confidence, poor confidence, and they may be unaware of why they have these psychological issues or disorders, because there's something unresolved that's in the subconscious mind that is still affecting them. But the subconscious mind, very, very powerful. I mean, if we try to create an analogy here, so let's just say like, the conscious mind is like a simple calculator. Right? The conscious mind, very powerful. But to understand this analogy, if the conscious mind is like a calculator, just a simple calculator, then the subconscious mind would be like a supercomputer. I mean, consciously, if you just try and close your eyes and create a scene or experience something in your imagination, for the vast majority of people, it's difficult to clearly picture even someone's face that they know well. It's difficult to really experience what it's like eating something delicious, or, in all 5 senses, creating a reality just when you close your eyes and creating this in your conscious mind. Because if our conscious mind was very good at it, creating a reality, then this would be like the most advanced virtual reality that doesn't even exist yet, because it would be in all 5 senses, and you wouldn't want to do anything. You'd just be one of the mystics that wanders off into the desert, finds a cave, and just sits in there for 10 years, just doing nothing but meditating, because all you would have to do is close your eyes and you could experience anything. Now, yeah, like I said, most of us are not that good at doing that. However, we have dreams, and we have lucid dreams, and those dreamscapes can be so realistic. But it's not just visually, it's in all 5 senses. I mean, I have eaten things in a dream, and it was just so realistic. Later, after I woke up and I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, that was so good. The one that comes to mind is I was eating chocolate chip cookies. in a dream. And it was just so delicious. In the dream, I was enjoying it so much. And even after I woke up and I had dream recall, I was still like, man, those cookies were good. And I'm like, they tasted just like in, what I think to be reality when I eat chocolate chip cookies. But I even wonder, like, maybe they were even more delicious in the dream? Is that possible? What was that? I perceive this to be reality, so I think that was just a dream. That wasn't real. But my subconscious mind generated that in all 5 senses. That is just insane to think about how powerful the subconscious mind is. So, we don't have as good of a control over that level of the mind as we do over the conscious mind. But there are tools and modalities within metaphysics. I mean, that's what magic is all about. That's what alchemy is all about. All of this stuff, they're modalities for getting access to the deeper levels of the mind. But just something as simple as visualization. Not even going through with ritual or energy work or manipulation, just simple imagination. This is a metaphysical technique where you just close your eyes and vividly imagine, let's say, what your goals are, what it is that you're trying to manifest, and you visualize it as though it's already happened. And, don't worry about, how vivid it is at first or how believable it is. No, practice mental rehearsal. This mental rehearsal means you're performing the visualization regularly, daily, every day, maybe multiple times throughout the day. But the point is you're engaged in mental rehearsal. So you're building a clear, sensory-rich image in your mind. In all 5 senses, the more detail, the better. Don't stress at first how realistic it seems. It will get better the more you rehearse this. And what this is going to do is going to trick your brain into believing that it's already real. And you may say, well, so what? But that doesn't make it real. But again, remember, it's all about energy. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's all about energy. What we want to do is increase the vibrational state of our energy, of our energetic state. And, here's a little secret. Don't get so caught up on the specifics of different magical systems or alchemical systems. It really is all about energy. And just by increasing your energy, things will come naturally. Psychic abilities will come naturally. Right? Manifestation will come naturally. So it's all about energy. And so, why are we tricking our brain into thinking this is already real through visualization? Because when you experience it, whether it's real or not, what we're really concerned with is the vibrational state of the thoughts and the emotions. So if you can imagine very well that you have what it is already that you're trying to manifest, and you can experience those thoughts, feelings, and emotions that come with it, it does not matter if it's real or not. The goal is manipulating the energy. Emotional alignment. So we begin with our thoughts, right? That's what we have total control over. We can manipulate those directly. And when you bring in emotion, right, you don't just want to visualize or think about what it is that you want. You also want to feel the emotion of it. To manifest effectively, you have to align emotionally with your desires. So you're not just thinking about what you want, you're also feeling the emotions that would come if you already had it. Things like excitement, joy, euphoria, happiness, gratitude, empowerment. This is going to, right here, right now, increase your vibrational state. That's what it's all about. It's all about energy manipulation. Of course, intention and clarity. Clarity is crucial. Your intention must be strong. It must be, have a clear statement of what it is that you desire. Set clear intentions, because this is going to signal to the personal subconscious mind. And as you continue to work with this, that's going to flow down even through the deeper levels, like the psychic exchange, and or the so after the subconscious, you would come through the collective unconscious mind, and then the psychic exchange, and then the infinite God mind. So, this is going to send signals, channel this energy down through the deeper levels. And if you want to increase this even more, write down your intentions. This is going to increase the power even more. Belief is a critical element of magic and alchemy and sorcery and vampirism and all of this. And you must have trust and know that your desire is coming, that it is going to manifest. So that's why in performing a magical ritual or casting a spell, once it's done, it's done. You walk away, you forget about it, you let it go. If you feel the need to come back and repeat it, or you keep obsessing over it, then this is even saying to yourself that you don't have belief in it. You're lacking faith. You're lacking trust in it. You must be able to let go and detach. When you cannot do this, right, it almost creates this sense of desperation. And when you have desperation, right, this is a lower vibrational energy, or it's at least what we would call a negative energetic state. Desperation, negativity, disbelief. This is going to lead to an increased resistance. And resistance is the enemy to all of this, to efficient energy flow. So it leads to blockages, right? So we don't want resistance. And the only way to get rid of resistance is to get rid of disbelief. So you must have total belief in what you're doing. The way to do that, at least in my view, is to know Hermetic law. When you know Hermetic law, the 7 Hermetic principles, this all becomes effortless. At least belief in it does. Because through the 7 Hermetic laws, all of this is possible. All metaphysics is possible. Whether it's magic, I don't care, white magic, black magic, alchemy, black alchemy, sorcery, vampirism. It is also necessary to take action. So what happens a lot of times is somebody may perform a ritual, a spell, and they may have had success with it, but they'll never have any idea of their success, because the success manifested as opportunities that were presenting themselves to the magician or alchemist. This is where you really need to be in touch with your intuition and follow your gut feelings. And, speaking of the collective unconscious mind, this was one of Dr. Carl Jung's babies. But Dr. Carl Jung also talked about synchronicity, right? So synchronicity is where you have coincidences in meaning. And this comes to a lot of people through numbers, repeating numbers. Perhaps they're always seeing repeating numbers, every time they look at the clock. Something that catches your attention, and maybe it has happened to you, where this has really caught your attention. Like, whoa, I keep seeing this number. And you wonder, does this mean something? Is it just a coincidence? Well, Dr. Carl Jung would say, no, this does mean something. It's a coincidence in meaning, and it's very possible that this is it's like a signal, right? So let's say if you're in the right-hand path working with law of attraction, this would be a signal, a way to interpret these repeating numbers would be that this is a signal from the cosmos, that message received loud and clear. So all you have to do is sit back and relax and be open and receptive to the opportunities which the cosmos will be presenting to you, right? If you're working more with internal alchemy or within the left-hand path, this could be a signal from, it could be from a deeper level of your mind. It could be a signal from a demon or demons. Whatever it is you were working with, this would be a sign of success, and it's a signal to you that, okay, get ready. Things are about to happen. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and be receptive to opportunities being presented to you. Because if you're not ready for this, you could be, being presented with countless opportunities, great, fantastic opportunities, and they will just pass you by because your eyes are closed, your ears are shut. So yeah, be ready for the opportunities. And then you might be saying, okay, well, how can I know that this was one of the opportunities, or am I like forcing this? Well, the way you know is still following your intuition. If it feels forced, then that probably isn't one of the opportunities that was being presented to you. But if it feels natural, if it feels inspired, and you're going with your gut feeling, it feels intuitive, then that is probably the correct path. To get more practical about this, so firstly, you want to set clear goals, be specific, do not be vague, visualize daily, and perform mental rehearsal with your visualizations. Practice transmutation, internal alchemy right in your conscious mind with, anytime you have like these negative thoughts coming in, negative emotions, just refuse to accept them. If you're dwelling with negative emotions like depression or despair, try working with the Hermetic law of polarity. See if you can change this to its polar opposite. See if you can transmute it. Just, transmute your perception. Transmute how you think of this. These are your thoughts within your conscious mind. You are the freaking goddess here. This is your domain. So assert your dominance here. If you don't like the energies in your mind, you have the power to transmute it and channel it as you will. You must declare your sovereignty within your own domain, your conscious mind. This is your domain. Another thing you can do is working with like mantras, affirmations, right? Repeating an affirmation, because this is something that you can do consciously, but through repetition of it, right? This is programming. Visualization too. Think of this like programming of the subconscious mind. So when you're repeating these positive affirmations or mantras or prayers or whatever it is, this is programming. And the more you repeat these things in your conscious mind, that the more that energy flows into the subconscious mind, and the more it flows down there, the more it increases its presence and its power in that deeper level of the mind, and then it starts to solidify and crystallize there. And when it does that, then that energy can flow back up and affect you consciously in a more positive way. Our consciousness shapes reality, shapes our experiences. So in talking about the metaphysics of manifestation, we are exploring the very nature of reality. We are exploring consciousness and how our intentions interact with the fabric of existence. This is blending quantum mechanics, consciousness studies, esoteric philosophy, magic, alchemy. It's everything. Because when you talk about metaphysics, we're really getting deep into it. Metaphysics is all. It encompasses everything. Thought is a vibrational frequency. Metaphysically, thoughts are vibrational energy, psychic thought energy. Now, quantum mechanics is very interesting, and it does tie in with this idea of the observer effect. So just something as simple as observation can change outcomes. The double slit experiment, they were shooting electrons out of a device against a wall, and in between the wall and the device firing the electrons, they placed kind of another wall, like a sheet of metal, and it had two vertical slits in it. And the idea was to observe the behavior of the electrons, how they went through the slits, and then after that, how they would land on the wall, because this would inform the researchers of whether the electrons were behaving as particles, right, single like particles, or whether they were behaving as waves. And what they found is that when the electrons were shot through the slits and landed on the wall past the wall with the slits, their destination, that there was an interference pattern. And what that means is that, this is indicative of an interference pattern is indicative of a wave. So the electrons are behaving like a wave. However, when the process was observed, and we're not necessarily talking about like human eyes observing it, but when it was like filmed, or I guess a special camera was put on it, and they repeated the experiment, then the interference pattern no longer occurred, but instead what happened is a pattern that was indicative of particles hitting the wall. So it's like the simple act of observing collapsed this electron wave into a particle. And so how this relates to what I'm talking about is our consciousness can affect reality. Something like meditation, right? Our thoughts, our stream of consciousness, this is like a wave, right? It's like a flowing river. It never stops. Our thoughts are just always going. It's so hard to just shut up the mind or to stop that flow. But when you meditate, and then you feel the pressure build at your third eye chakra, and then it all stops. Right? Did you ever attain this state? Where like it just stops. It's just nothing. This is like you being the observer of your own mind, or your own breath, or something. And then that stream, that flowing stream of consciousness, it collapses into a particle, into a singularity that is at the point of your third eye chakra. Does this make sense, what I'm saying? Have you experienced this? Perhaps you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's just something very interesting that I'll get into more, but it's too much to get into at this particular moment. But what this means is that our awareness, our consciousness, it has power over reality. And maybe when we're talking about manifestation, manifesting something through magic, what we're talking about is collapsing that waveform into a singularity. Maybe that is what manifesting is, right? Like the waveform is all of the possibilities, all of the realities. And through performing a magical ritual or through channeling energies, we can collapse the infinite multitude of realities into a single chosen reality, or the infinite multitude of possibilities into a single chosen possibility. Right? There are infinite possibilities. This gets into multiverse theory. According to quantum theory, multiple potential realities exist. Well, not just multiple, like infinite. And they exist simultaneously. And so some metaphysicians are of the theory that when you're manifesting something through, let's say, magic, what you're really doing is shifting your reality into one of the others from the infinite spectrum of realities that exist simultaneously. Very, very fascinating stuff here. Um, yeah, this idea of superposition, that, this pertains to consciousness studies and metaphysics as well, that there exists multiple realities, multiple potentialities, multiple possibilities, and that we can select one of these possible realities over others. So working with manifestation, working with things like visualization and belief, these are tools, magic, alchemy, vampirism, these are tools that we can use to kind of, I've used the term programming, so how about the term hacking? Hacking into this, hacking into the mind, hacking into the cosmos, hacking into the energy matrix, to choose our own reality. Okay, well, let's move on from this. This is something we'll get back into in future videos, because it is fascinating, and it does connect very much. This is part of metaphysics, and it does have a place in discussions of magic and manifestation and alchemy and what have you. But I want to talk about the law of vibration. So this is a Hermetic law, and this is talking about with energy, like frequency and resonance. So the law of vibration states that everything in the cosmos, thoughts, emotions, even objects, vibrate at a specific frequency. It is all energy. Even what you perceive to be something external to yourself, that seems to be a very physical, tangible object, is just energy. So just like with when you have two vibrating strings of the same frequency, right, they will resonate. This also explains like the opera singer who can match the frequency of her voice with the frequency of something like a wine glass, and she can match the frequencies so that they resonate, and when they resonate, this shatters the glass. So kind of we already discussed this. So our conscious mind, our thoughts, emotions, our feelings, we have control over this. We can raise the vibrational frequency of our thoughts and feelings. We can perform alchemy to transmute from a negative state to a more positive state. And this will allow our own energetic state to resonate more with what we are trying to manifest, that reality that we are trying to manifest. And emotion acts as an amplifier. It intensifies the vibration of our thoughts, mental causation, and the subconscious mind. So let's move on to this. So the role of the subconscious, it's a powerful driver of reality, and it contains our deeply rooted beliefs that shape our experiences. I talked about this with psychoanalysis and the shadow mind. But we can reprogram the subconscious. That's what we do in the left-hand path through modalities such as sorcery and alchemy and black magic or magic. Also just simple things like affirmations, visualizations, but also hypnosis. I always forget to mention this one. But hypnosis, even self-hypnosis. So you can perform hypnosis on yourself. That's no problem. And, these various modalities can align our conscious intentions with our subconscious beliefs and increase the effectiveness of manifestation. Our belief is so important, right? And that's why in the right-hand path, they always, talk about faith. You got to have faith. Just got to have faith, right? In the left-hand path, maybe this term is not used so much. I think instead, the term belief is used, but it's still the same thing. Like, you got to have that belief. However, whatever you got to do to make yourself believe, you got to do what you got to do, because it just matters that you believe. Without belief, there's an inverse relationship between resistance and belief. So when you're lacking in belief, you're going to have more resistance, and this is just throwing it's just hampering the entire process, because resistance, it blocks the energy flow. So it's just not going to work with resistance. And how do you get rid of resistance? Have total trust in the process. Let go. But yeah, our beliefs, they command the subconscious mind, which is going to shape our perception and interaction with the world. Positive beliefs align with our desires and lend to a harmonious flow of energy and allow our intentions to manifest without resistance. Okay, so we have, I want to talk about parallel realities and multiverse theory, which we kind of touched upon already, but there exist multiple realities. All possible realities exist simultaneously. Right? This is kind of a little bit akin to the Akashic records, which I talked about in one of the previous videos. Right? The Akashic records exist in the astral realm, and it contains all knowledge, right? Very similar to the collective unconscious, Dr. Carl Jung. It contains all knowledge, past, present, and future, all experiences, all memories, all lives, past, present, future, and it all exists simultaneously as though time is like spherical. And that's the thing with these multiple realities, multiverse theory. There's an infinite number of realities, an infinite number of possibilities, and through powerful metaphysical systems like magic and alchemy, you are possibly shifting realities. So when we say you're manifesting that reality or that outcome, perhaps it is just that you are shifting to a more favorable reality. Right? You're shifting into a version of reality where your desires already exist. Like that reality already exists and you're just shifting to it. Right? So through focused intention and alignment and magic, you can step into your desired reality. Reality shifting through vibration, right? Tuning your thoughts and emotions to match the frequency, again, resonance, to match the frequency of your desired reality. Metaphysically moving closer to and aligning with that reality to experience its corresponding outcomes. Okay, I want to talk about non-locality and collective consciousness. So, it's all energy. Understand Hermetic law, know that it's all energy. So it's all about vibration, lower vibrational states, higher vibrational states, transmuting vibrational states, increasing vibrational states, changing frequencies to resonate with other energetic states. And that's how you manifest what you want. And, we're getting into quantum physics, quantum mechanics. We're moving beyond even space and time. All is interconnected. Particles influence each other instantly across infinite distances. So time and space are not absolute. And what this also means is that our very thoughts and intentions do have an effect, even without having physical proximity to what it is that we may be trying to have an effect on. So, yeah, again, this is explaining vampirism, energy manipulation, magic, spell casting, psychic abilities. Right, this all makes perfect sense metaphysically. So, prayer, things like this. So if let's say you're sending positive energy or intentions to others, you can know that they do have a real influence upon them regardless of the distance. Perhaps even regardless of time. Okay, but I'm going to leave that there. But perhaps even regardless of time. But this would also lend to things like collective manifestation, collective, ceremonial magic, group magic, communal prayer, group prayer, right? This collective idea of collective manifestation. Because consciousness, it's all consciousness, it's all mind, it's all energy, it's all interconnected. So consciousness is all interconnected. And so groups can focus their shared intention and have, this will lead to an even more powerful effect. It's going to amplify the intentions, amplify the power, and lead to larger shifts in reality. So let us look at psychic thought energy and the 5 levels of the mind within metaphysics. So psychic thought energy teaches us that thoughts are not mere mental constructs. Rather, they are energetic forces with vibrational frequencies that, and here's the important thing, that influence reality. So thoughts have energy and vibration. So in metaphysics, you're focusing upon an idea with intention and emotion, right? Remember, emotion is what is going to really ignite that flame. And this is going to have an effect on the frequency of the energy. And right, if we're working with strong positive emotions, this is going to raise the vibrational frequency, and this is going to align through resonance, it's going to align with similar vibrations in the cosmos, in the mind, in the all, what have you. Thought energy shapes reality. With increasingly concentrated, emotionally charged thoughts, this will lead to higher vibrational energy, which is going to lead to stronger manifestation. Now, the different levels of the mind can amplify this energy because of their varying degrees of power and what they can do and the resources that dwell there. So this thought energy, we're really working upon it through magical systems and alchemical systems, and channeling this thought energy through different levels of the mind, increasing resonance and aligning with our desired manifestations. Okay, so now let us look at the 5 levels of the mind in metaphysics. So just, you can think of this as an onion with its various layers. So we start with the outside surface layer of the onion, that which is most apparent and observable to us. So this would be, this would correspond with our surface conscious waking mind. This is what we have the most control over. This is our level of conscious awareness, the conscious mind. It's where we actively think, reason, plan, make decisions, form intentions, set goals, focus our desires, right? This is the driver's seat for our whole mental system. This is what we have control over. This is what we can easily manipulate. It's just, the issue is, okay, why not just work with this? Well, we have control over it, but it is not the most powerful level. As we go deeper, we're going to encounter increasingly more powerful levels of the mind. But we can only kind of, right, the driver's seat is, it's stuck up here in the conscious mind. So we have to be clever in how we access and manipulate these deeper levels of the mind. And that is where various modalities of metaphysics come into play. Okay, so in manifestation, the conscious mind is the starting point. It's where we set our intentions. It's where we perform our magic and alchemy, where we clarify our goals, utilize visualization, mantras, affirmations, focus our desires. It is where we create that initial thought energy. And then as we manipulate this energy, right, think of this like a two-way street. So the energy can flow from the conscious mind down into and through the deeper levels of the mind, through the deeper levels of the onion, but it's also coming back up from those levels to the conscious mind. So psychoanalytic theory works on this principle. So with Doctors Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, right? So they were working with psychoanalytic theory, and they, what they talked about is that the subconscious mind contains things like traumas, repressed, suppressed memories and fears. It's like the shadow mind, right? But being the shadow mind, we're not always aware of what is there. But even though we're not consciously aware of it, that energy is still flowing back up to our conscious mind, and it is affecting us consciously, even though we're not necessarily aware of it, right? So this is what is happening with when we're looking at these levels of the mind. So hold on, I just lost my train of thought here. So in the conscious mind, this is where we create the initial thought energy, and the other levels are going to amplify this. But like I said, the limitation here with the conscious mind is, although the magician has more control here, they have less power. So we do have to learn how to manipulate the deeper levels. So if we go deeper, right, we're channeling this energy down. Where does it go? Well, the first place it goes, that next, as you peel off that first layer of the onion, what you'll find is the personal, the personal subconscious mind. And like I was talking about with psychoanalytic theory, here you have a lot of repressed and suppressed stuff. It's like the shadow mind. You have memories, beliefs, also habits. Also things like self-concepts and deep-seated beliefs that were crafted, shaped, molded from past experiences, childhood traumas, things you don't even remember consciously. They're still there, and they're still affecting you. Now, regarding manifestation, why we are interested in this is because the subconscious mind is acting like a bridge between our intentions that we set consciously and the manifestation, which is going to be made possible by even still deeper levels of the mind. But this subconscious mind, as the energy passes through it, is going to reinforce our intentions and store our beliefs. Right, so a lot of times, like in psychoanalytic theory, it's focusing on the negative stuff that's there. And so the idea is in therapy, the therapist will help to guide the patient so that they can discover a repressed, maybe traumatic memory that is negatively affecting them because it's stored negative energy. And once they discover it there, then they can bring it up to the conscious level of the mind, and then they can work upon it therapeutically. But the opposite is true also, right? The law of polarity. We don't just have to have negative things stored in the subconscious mind. We can have very positive things stored there. And through repeating positive affirmations and doing ritual work where we are working with and manipulating positive energy, we can create positive energy stores in that subconscious mind. So like when we repeat things like affirmations and visualizations, this is a metaphysical trick for actually programming and reprogramming the subconscious mind, where you can then embed new belief systems that support what you're trying to do consciously. So, we're talking about shaping reality. The all is mind. So when you're shaping the mind, you're shaping reality. Your reality. Your reality. The subconscious is a magnet. It draws in experiences that align with our stored beliefs. If our beliefs support our desired manifestations, then this is going to send strong signals that are going to attract corresponding energies and circumstances and outcomes and realities. Okay, now we peel away this layer of the onion and we're going to go even deeper. So we're channeling this energy even deeper. We're traveling as a mystic even deeper into the mind. Next, we come to the collective unconscious. This was Dr. Carl Jung's baby. This is what he talked about. This is so the collective unconscious, right? Collective, we're using this word because this is a shared mental reservoir that connects all individuals. It contains universal symbols, archetypes, ancestral memories, past life experiences. It operates beyond personal memory, and it connects humanity's broader consciousness. It's kind of akin to like the Akashic records. It's something that is universal, it's shared, and there's some thought that mystics, when they're going into their mind like this and they encounter the collective unconscious, right, when they have that sudden revelation or that inspiration, or even things just like religious symbols, like where do these come from? Well, Dr. Carl Jung would argue it's coming from the collective unconscious. All of these things already exist there. Like, we consciously are not creating anything new. We're creating nothing new. It's just that we have found ways to access the collective unconscious, even though I'm sure in almost nearly all cases we're unaware of this. But that's where these things are coming from, these ideas, these archetypes, these symbols, all of it. Regarding manifestation, this is where we get the archetypal forces and the symbols and all of our ideas. And these carry immense power and are useful. They are useful for increasing the potency of our magical systems. And so what we want to do is to manipulate our energy frequencies to align with the positive collective archetypal energies and patterns. And we can use these symbols to amplify that thought energy. So by focusing on symbols of abundance, for example, this is going to amplify the psychic thought energy and amplify its power, amplify its vibration. Okay, so we're peeling away another layer of the onion. We're going even deeper. Could you believe you can go even deeper into this system, into this mental system? We then encounter the psychic exchange level of the mind in metaphysical thought. Here you have an exchange of energy between individuals. Thoughts, emotions, intentions are transmitted and also sensed by others without physical interaction. So rightly named the psychic exchange, because this is where all of these psychic phenomena occurs. This is why to access these abilities, you have to go really deep, right? We're talking really deep now. Past the conscious, through the subconscious, through the unconscious mind. All right, this gets pretty tricky when you're going this deep. We're talking about going through the unconscious mind. Now you're at the psychic exchange level of the mind. This is getting really tapping into our higher self. So this level of the mind, it connects individuals through energetic exchange. This is really what you're tapping into when you're working with energy. Things like vampirism, things like remote viewing, telekinesis, telepathy. This energy is being manipulated through this level of the mind. Now, in manifestation, our intentions can subtly influence others, and you can even attract things and other people towards you that resonate with your energy frequency. You can manifest goals that involve others' cooperation or alignment. This could lead to career opportunities, new relationships, new social connections, what have you. I mean, anything that you desire. So how this works is you will set your intention, and this will radiate out, and this will subtly influence others to be attracted to you because they are aligning with your desires. So, for example, if you visualize success, this is going to increase your energy, which is going to lend to increased confidence, and which is going to attract new opportunities to you because it's all energy. It's all about resonance, right? So when you are vibrating at this higher frequency, you're going to resonate with higher vibrational energies. You're going to be attracted to them. They're going to be attracted to you. They are going to manifest. Okay, let us get to the next and final level of the mind. So now we're at the core, the fifth level of the mind, and that is, well, it goes by many names. It's referred to as the infinite mind, the God mind, the cosmic mind, the higher self, the true self. There's so many names for this level of mind. This is, the divine mind. It's the highest level of mind. And it is the source of all creation. I mean, there's no messing around here. There's no joking around. I mean, this is it. This is God. Dare I say, I know a lot of people don't like this term. This is divinity. This is the source of all creation. It is all encompassing consciousness. It permeates all. It is unlimited possibility. It transcends time and space. It even transcends individuality. It is the source of all manifestation. I mean, when you have access to this level of the mind and can stay there, this is when you are a living God. Right, in the left-hand path, we talk about apotheosis. This is not joking around. I mean, literally, you become a living God through this level of the mind. And this is within you. It is within every one of us. And it's there waiting until you access and do something with it. But the vast majority, nearly every single human being who is walking upon this earth now, or who has ever walked upon this earth, or whoever will walk upon this earth, will never achieve mastery of this level of the mind. But a few do. We call these the ascended masters. They are the ones, they are gods now. They are goddesses. This is not joking around here. This is not messing around with this stuff. This is metaphysics. This is metaphysical thought. And if you're in the left-hand path and you're practicing magic, alchemy, any of these metaphysical systems, apotheosis is the goal. So this is the source of all manifestation. It is limitless power. It is the God mind. Okay, so using the 5 levels of the mind to manifest. So firstly, we set our intention with the conscious mind. Ensure that it is clearly defined. Create a clear picture in your mind. Visualize daily. Practice mental rehearsal. Use affirmations. Use mantras. Only have positive emotions. This is the building of that initial thought energy. We're starting it in the conscious level of the mind. Then, in the personal subconscious, we are programming and reprogramming. So those affirmations and visuals and hypnosis, I always forget to mention this, hypnosis, magic, alchemy, whatever metaphysical system we're performing with the conscious mind, this is channeling energy down into the subconscious mind to program and reprogram it and to embed new supportive belief systems that will become embedded in the subconscious mind, and then they will send out their own energy up back into the conscious mind that will continue to affect us positively, even though we're not always consciously aware of it, right? But now we're making the subconscious mind work for us effectively how we want it to. Then thirdly, we are connecting with the collective unconscious to have our mystical revelations and have access to universal symbols and archetypes and universal wisdom, the wisdom of the ancient mystics, right? This is why the mystics would go out into the desert and go sit in a cave for 10 years. Like, what the hell were they doing? Were they nuts? Well, no, they knew what was inside of them. So they would sit cross-legged in a cave, not moving for years and years, just going deeper and deeper and deeper, getting access to this unconscious level of the mind. Okay, and then fourthly, we get into the psychic exchange, where now we can take this energy and channel it where we want. We can receive it, we can transmit it, we can focus it, direct it, and create resonance with the other vibrational frequencies that we are attempting to manifest, right? And then fifthly, we achieve access to the infinite God mind, where we become a true sovereign being. And that is that. So that is, psychic thought energy and the 5 levels of the mind. Now I will discuss manifestation according to Hermetic law. So there are 7 principles or laws in Hermeticism, and these offer a structured metaphysical framework for how and why manifestation works. They cover the universal laws of reality, mind, and vibration. So firstly, we have the principle of mentalism. And this serves as a foundation for pretty much all metaphysical modalities, from vampirism to alchemy to magic to sorcery. This principle states that the all is mind, the universe is mental. And so what this teaches us is that reality itself is a mental construct, and thought in particular is an energy. It is a very powerful creative tool. So since the cosmos is mental, through focused thought, one can achieve manifestation. The second principle is that of correspondence, which states as above, so below. And we can also take this to understand as within, so without. And so what this is getting into, it's portraying this mirrored relationship between the different levels of reality, between the microcosm and the macrocosm, between our internal, what we perceive to be our internal mental world and the external physical world. Whatever level, there is a correspondence between the realm of dreams and the astral realm, spiritual, celestial, infernal realms, what have you. And so what the magician does is they align their inner world through manipulating thought and emotion. They align this with their desired external reality to manifest their desires. And when you have harmony between the inner state and the desired outcome, that is to say, harmony between the microcosm and macrocosm, this is where you can effect real change. The third principle is that of vibration. And we talked about everything is energy. So therefore, everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. You can manipulate these frequencies, you can change them, you can align them, you can create resonance between different frequencies, and this is how you manifest. So this principle states that nothing rests. Everything is moving, everything is vibrating. And like I said, everything vibrates at a particular frequency. And these frequencies can have an attraction to other frequencies that resonate with them. So when we're looking at thoughts and emotions, so certain things like love, gratitude, and joy will vibrate at a higher frequency than lower vibrational thoughts such as fear, doubt, sadness, desperation. So with manifestation or attraction, you're attracting similar experiences, outcomes, states, realities through various metaphysical modalities, even things as simple as visualization, affirmations, mantras, but also more complicated things like energy work, energy manipulation, vampirism, magic, alchemy, also just general meditation. This is going to increase your own energy. It's going to increase the vibrational state of your own self, mind, body, what have you. The fourth principle is that of polarity, which states everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its opposite. But those opposites, and here's the real wisdom within this principle, these opposites are just two extremes of the same thing. So what you can do through performing alchemy, mental alchemy, is to shift to the opposite polarity. So negative thoughts you can transmute into positive thoughts. Instead of thinking of yourself as someone who is poor, start thinking of yourself as someone who is rich. Even if this is not necessarily the case in your current reality, it is going to shift your energetic state, which is going to align you with those more positive, higher vibrational states that you seek to attract and manifest. Instead of thinking of as yourself as a slave, begin to think of yourself as a sovereign being. Okay, the fifth principle is that of rhythm, and this states that everything flows out and in, and everything has its tides. This is apparent in the cycles of the moon, the changing of seasons, day and night. This rhythm also occurs within our own bodies. So probably you're aware of a psychological disorder called bipolar disorder, where the afflicted patient will fluctuate between extreme mental states of mania and severe depression, and this will occur over cycles. However, what may not be as well known is that we all actually have this cycle. It's that it's only diagnosed as bipolar when it becomes extreme, like in those cases. However, we all have our mood fluctuate like this on a monthly basis. And maybe you've taken notice of this, where just some days you feel upbeat and energetic and confident, and then you'll go through a spell where you feel depressed and maybe you have a lower self-esteem, but then that will come back again. The confidence and empowerment will come back. Our natural brain chemistry does have this rhythm, but it's just not as extreme as in cases of bipolar disorder. But the principle of rhythm, right, is this natural ebb and flow. And it's just important to be aware of this, because you will go through those cycles where you are feeling down, you are feeling disempowered, disillusioned. And when that happens, just having awareness of this cycle will help you to get through it, because it will be easier to cultivate patience and trust, knowing that you will come out of it. But it's also important for timing, for things like rituals and even energy work, to know like when you should be utilizing those things. Okay, so we have a couple more here. So the sixth Hermetic principle is that of cause and effect, which states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. And, there is a ripple effect with this, kind of like a chemical reaction, kind of like the butterfly effect, right? Something as simple and seemingly mundane as thoughts that we have, or dwelling upon negative things, or being paranoid of, the worst possible outcome coming. This has a ripple effect through this principle of cause and effect. So be very mindful of your thoughts on a moment-to-moment basis. You really do need to be cultivating positive thinking. Mind over matter is very real. The cause would be your thoughts and emotions and even your actions. And this is going to lead to an effect of manifestation in your reality. So with your thoughts and emotions, you're planting seeds that align with your desired outcomes and what it is that you are trying to manifest. So you must think, act, behave, and believe according to your goals. And this is going to set a cause which is going to lead to manifestation of your desires, and this is the effect. Okay, so the seventh and final principle in Hermeticism is that of gender. And this teaches us that gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. So everything is energy. Everything has energetic qualities. Masculine energy, right? These masculine qualities are such things as assertiveness, taking action, being active, being aggressive, focused. And feminine qualities deal more with like being receptive, intuitive, even nurturing. But you need a balance between these in order to achieve effective manifestation. So with the feminine, you are nurturing your vision and you are being receptive to new ideas and keeping your belief strong, keeping your faith. And with the masculine principles, you are taking inspired action, You are implementing extreme laser focus, also discipline, and assertively pursuing your vision. So when we apply Hermeticism, we are firstly setting a clear intention through mentalism. Secondly, we are aligning our inner and outer worlds through correspondence. Thirdly, we are raising our vibration. Fourthly, we are shifting our focus through polarity. Fifth, we are having trust in timing with rhythm. 6, we are planting the seeds through cause and effect. And 7, we are achieving balance between action and receptivity with gender. And so that about does it for our video today on manifestation metaphysics. Thank you so much for joining me here today and following along with us. If you would like to support what we're doing or learn more about who we are, or also if you would be interested in some of our free services, then you can learn all about this through our website at Plutosophia.com. Okay, I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.